Any questions here? You guys have any questions? Brian?
Yes. Okay. And this is just a general question in general. Like, you know how I am on the road, right? So, uh, if somebody frustrates you and you say something,
If you get road rage.
they can't hear it, right? So,
Okay.
does it still turn as backbiting? And what's the compensation for that?
It's like road rage is a problem. Road rage is a manifestation of lack of self-control. Oftentimes people get angry, we get mad because we can't control the situation. We're out of control. We don't have the ability to dictate, to determine, so we take it out with frustration, all right? So a Muslim is supposed to control himself and never ever forget لا تغضب والعافين عن الناس والله يحب المحسنين. Right? The virtues of suppressing and stifling one's anger. Rather, the hadith says لا تغضب, don't even get angry. So يعني if you backbite somebody, can you backbite someone to yourself? Is that even possible? Is that backbiting? Slander, cursing, but can you backbite to yourself? Or is it you sit with another party and you saw this brother's this, he's that, he's ugly, he's stupid, he's this, he's ugly, he's kada, he's kada, he's kada, he's kada. You know what I'm saying? This? I don't know him, you lose your temper, you beep the horn, you curse, you stick up your finger or your arm or down here or up there or whatever else. Seek Allah's forgiveness. Give sadaqah. And try not to go back to it in the future. And just don't allow no one to get under your skin driving. A wise man once told me, he said, when you're driving, he says, don't lose control. Keep calm, don't get mad. There's no point in you beeping your horn. Just be cool, brother. There's no point. Wallahu alam.
KA London, UK.
Fadda, Abdur.
It's really using water from a faucet that has a weird smell.
Using water from a faucet that has a weird smell to it. Depends on what type of weird smell. It's always best to يعني دع ما يريبك. Stay away from the doubtful matters or the gray areas. فمن اتقى الشبهات فقد استبرأ لدينه. All right, that's best. However, if it's weird based off of the pipe, rusty, something, that's one thing. Versus weirdness of najasa, it smells foul, then that's a different story. Wallahu alam.
KA London, UK. Is there anything wrong with wearing a silk jilbab or outer garment in public?
Questions from London. Wearing a silk jilbab or outer garment in public. As long as the garment fulfills the necessary conditions of hijab, it's lawful. And if it's lawful, there's nothing wrong with it. But what does silk do? How does silk fall as a material on your body, etc.? If it's going to be revealing or clinging to you or whatever, or thin or sheer, obviously stay away from. If it's going to be a means of you being accused of being extravagant or showing off, or yani silk, we talk about stereotypes. Silk has a stereotype to it. It does. The first thing you think about silk is what? What a woman is what? Something sensual. For sure. Correct or incorrect? You don't think about silk and airplane wing. They used silk back in the day. You don't think about a spider's web, a bandage, this type of camping blanket. Remember? The first thing you think about silk is what? Nightgown. Huh? Something sensual, a woman, etc. So somebody may look at you or know that it's silk and think that you're trying to be some type of flaunting woman or some type of eroticness or whatever. So if that's going to take place, then stay away from it. As far as if it's a normal garment, it covers your body, so on and so forth, and it's made of silk. Bismillah.
What if it's mixed?
We're talking about a woman. It's for a woman, not for a man. I would strongly assume, right? Inshallah. Jalaba, huh? Faddal.
AM Springfield, Virginia. Assalamu alaikum Mufti. May Allah increase you in good. What is the history behind your appreciation for the tea culture? I was pleasantly surprised to see the video of the little Gong Fu Cha ceremony for the disciples in the car.
طيب خيرا inshallah. History of my appreciation for tea. In brief, probably started with my grandmother from my father's side and my oldest sister. When we were in the house, my grandmother was from down south. She had a great appreciation of tea, the southern culture, the southern hospitality, huh? There were a few to only carry on the old traditions. So I remember as a young boy in the house, I spent a lot of time at my grandmother's house, and the cabinet was always celestial seasonings, herbal tea. The mandarin orange, this zinger, this such and such, this such and such. And it's very ironic because nowadays I very rarely drink that type of tea. It's very, very weird, paradox, but that's how it started. So it was always a box of tea in the cabinet. Cold days, hot days, you always have tea. And my older sister, she would always make me tea, and I just always liked it. But it was never nothing like how it is now. Oolong and this type. It was nothing like this. It didn't evolve. I think the next leap was my fascination with going overseas, going to Saudi culture and Medina. When I went overseas in Medina, of course, everyone drinks tea. Tea, coffee, tea, day and night, probably more than water. So that definitely took the natural stuff that was instilled in me and it boosted it to the next high level. And it became a normal thing. But even then, I'm talking now 2003. Okay, this is what, 17 years ago. It still was nothing like what? How it is now. The final step was another part of my childhood and upbringing, and that was my late father's love and involvement with martial arts and Eastern thought. I grew up in a martial arts home. I used to train and study when I was younger. My father knew several different ways from different countries. My house was always full of swords, staffs, and nunchucks, all types of stuff. Shurikens, ninja stores, literally, yeah. The basement, the banister wrapped up with the cloth. Literally, without no exaggeration. And it wasn't just so much of a fighting thing, but alhamdulillah, my household was a wealth of books from both my mother and my father. My father had a lot of books in the house. And I read those books and I discovered many things. And the more I got involved with my martial arts history and roots, of course, right next door is the lifestyle and the philosophy of that. And a big part of that is tea. So one day, I was in Barnes and Nobles, or maybe it was a used bookstore. And I bought the book of tea, the book that we showed you guys here, right? And I put it on my pocket one day. I was in the house with my mother. My father had passed away. And she said, what are you doing with this book? She said, do you know who used to read that book? She said, your father used to read that book. And then she came back and she brought an old copy of the book, a battered and tattered. Said this was our copy. We used to read together, and he put me down with it. So the love of it, the appreciation of it, and the digging into it just became what? Stronger and stronger and stronger, right? So that's some of the history of it. It's my intention, and Allah knows best, to start some nice playlists, some videos, and some sessions on the way of tea. We've only showed a few things. We've done a few tea ceremonies at the Struggle Within in the UK, in America. That was in the car. And obviously, alhamdulillah, I can say, if you're watching HadithDisciple, you know a cup of tea is not far behind. That's definitely, alhamdulillah, stereotype. We see brothers in the UK that say, Sheikh, where's the flask? Where's the canister? Or some brothers, they'll buy you one. They'll buy you tea. They give gifts. And they see class after class is what? Tea. So, alhamdulillah, I try to be a devoted student to the art. I don't know much. I don't have a lot of time and a lot of money. But the little time and money that I do have to learn and travel or to buy good stuff, I try to spread that culture to people that I love. So in the car, I wanted to share with those brothers that drink. And of course, tea is much more than just a drink. It's much more than just a drink. There's a lot of history behind it. Studied this. World politics, wars started off of what? Off of tea. And the second most consumed drink and beverage in the world. So that's some of my history. And Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala surely knows best. One of the points that I benefit from that is that you never know where you're going to go with a thing. And the only thing that you have to do is just get started. Or stay away from it, good or bad. You may not have no clue that you're going to become way addicted to a thing by one small cup. or needle or press play button. Huh? You never know. And that's why Islam forbids us from coming close. And the same applies to good. You don't know how deep you'll go into a thing, the rabbit hole. All you have to do is just what? Bismillah. Seeking ilm. I had no clue and no idea that I would travel and do this and go here and be this when I said I wanted to seek knowledge. But you have to have the courage to make the first step. And you never know what Allah has in store for you. So to me, a day without tea is like a nightmare. Literally. A hellish nightmare. A scary thought of anxiety. A day without tea. Fasting, but 24 hours with no tea. Cold, hot, black, this, that, oolong is scary. And there was never a point in my life in which I was like that. So you never know until you what? Until you try. That's the most important lesson, huh? For the Muslim. For good and also what? Staying away from the evil. Because it only takes one cup. And next thing you know what? You may be done. Something may enter and may never exit. It's a wide entrance, a small exit, like a funnel. The poet said this. It was 95. Wallahu alam.
Am I Bam UK? Assalamu alaikum, Shaykh. What's the best way to test someone's bukhli, if any, for the purpose of their marriage and their temperamental
Bukhl, like stinginess. Right. The best way to test someone's stinginess. Well, maybe they don't have stinginess. Perhaps the question should be worded to see a person's level of generosity or open-handedness, etc. Al-Muhim is combine it all. Combine it all. Ask actual questions. You don't have to be prying into someone's business. Ask them, are you this type of person? What type of job do you have? How long have you been working? What is your opinion on saving money? You think it's bad to save money? Good. What is your idea of a dinner? A nice dinner. Some brothers' dinner maybe McDonald's, huh? Inshallah, hopefully not Pop-Tarts. Hot Pockets. Huh?
Ramen noodles.
Some brothers, a good dinner maybe what? Something honorable, huh? Lamb shank. Saminin, huh? Some brothers, a good dinner maybe. So you got to ask questions. Secondly is, actually go out. You and your father, your wakil, say we're going out on a halal date tonight. Just the three of us. It's the brother that you're trying to get married to or the sister, whoever. If it was a brother or sister asking. You have your guardian with you. You guys go out to eat or something. Your father's there. You sit, you talk. Look at what he orders. And you'll find many things. You may find someone who's a spendthrift. Or he's a show-off. He's trying too hard. I'll just take such and such and such and such. You order something naturally. You ask a question naturally versus give me this and I'll take this. Does a person offer to pay? I'll go half. There's many ways of what? Of seeing. All right? Last but not least is look at a person's past dealings. The person was married before. You have children. You have family members. You can always gauge things through other people as well. Everyone understand this? So, there's different ways of doing it. Success is with Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Ask questions. Be upfront. And be smart, huh? Be what? Be smart. At a sit down, don't ask the sister, do you listen to music or not? Don't ask the brother, do you listen to music? Is music haram? Instead, you should do what? What's your favorite? Who's your favorite? What's your favorite song from whoever? Everyone understand this? Do they stutter? Do they make a smirk? Do they have to come up with an answer? Sometimes you gotta what? Navigate. You gotta outflank. Wallah alam. Hopefully you guys get the point I'm trying to make, huh? Treating it like a battle. The strategic mindset. That's all I'm saying. Not actually fighting, huh? Islam means peace. Fadl. Peace in the submission to Allah. That's what that means, huh? As-salam. In obedience to Allah, including anything in the Quran and the Sunnah. Fadl.
Jonathan Lane, Atlanta, Georgia. My wife is a new Muslim and we live with my family, including my stepfather and teenage brothers, and I can't get her to wear hijab around the house. Advice.
You have a new Muslim wife. You live with your family members. You can't get her to wear the hijab in the household, so on and so forth. Advice, yes. First piece of advice is patience. Sabr. Be patient. Be patient and be patient. Advice number 2, or second piece of advice, is that you need your own place to live. You need your own place to stay. You need your own space. A woman needs her own space. It's nothing wrong with keeping family ties, with visiting, they come over. But in my humble opinion, and Allah knows best, excessive family mixing is unhealthy in any marriage. That's my advice from experience. Excessive, not any, excessive. All the time, every day. The mother's just around. She walks into the bedroom. She sits on your bed. She's opening up your sock drawer. It's just not healthy. Your sister is there. She's in the kitchen. She goes pick up. It's just too much. All right? So living with your family members or in-laws, in most cases, is going to bring some type of problem. Some type of problem. Someone's going to get mad, upset. Someone's going to snoop. Someone's going to pry. There's going to be something that you can't do how you want to do it because you live with those other people. So excessive family mixing has its dangers. So if you want your wife to wear the hijab or to dress properly or to be comfortable in the house, she needs her own what? Space. Last piece of advice is to realize that she's a new Muslim. So focus on teaching her about Islam, educating her. Don't impose and enforce all things on her all at once. Don't put too much pressure on her if she's a new Muslim. Give her time to develop and sprout herself, inshallah ta'ala, with the gradual advice. And of course, you as a husband have the obligation of being in charge of your wife, her religion. But it doesn't mean that you have to force everything overnight. All right? Wallahu alam. Sallallahu alaihi wa sallam wa barak ala abdihi wa rasulihi nabiyina wa imamina Muhammad.